Every time I return to Dead Space 2008, I find more reasons why I love the game. The game is an absolute masterclass in horror, action, and it's superb from start to finish. I have very little issue with that game, and like I said, the more times I play it, the more I find things that I like about it, from its tight control, animation quality, visual, sound design, horror, the atmosphere, the story, how it stands on its own 2 feet and it doesn't need sequels. It's just a 10 out of 10 experience. Dead Space 2008 is an absolute masterclass. So why don't I feel the same about the remake? Now, if you followed the channel a while, you'll know that I've shown issue with a lot of things leading up to the release of this game. I did revisit it a while ago, and I thought I was being a little bit too harsh on it on my first initial playthrough. I thought, you know, there are things here that are good. I definitely felt like I was too harsh on it. But on this playthrough, I feel like I've gone backwards again. This could be the ultimate flip-flop of Dead Space Remake. Listen, the game is not a bad video game. It's still functioning on Dead Space's blueprint. But it does so much wrong that it's just like these massive glaring issues to a game that never needed a remake in the first place. It should have been remastered, maybe change the lighting, change the textures. Nothing really needed to be done to Dead Space to modernize it, so this just feels like something that got done for the sake of doing it instead of it needing to be done. And the ideas that it presents, while in some cases you can kind of go, it's kind of cool how Isaac can move around the Ishimura and there's no loading screens and it's all connected and you kind of backtrack, unlike the original where it's very level designed. I get that. That is a cool concept, and when you get things like key cards that open up other doors, so when you do go back you find those doors. Here's the problem with that mechanic. You'll walk into a room and you'll already have the key card for the locked door to open it, so there's no reason to go back. There's very few doors that you need to go back to unlock, and you can do that in New Game Plus. So you never really find yourself running back to find doors to unlock, because it's just monotonous running around. There's no reason to do it. Just wait until you're in New Game Plus, do it then. So it really doesn't add anything. The whole ship is covered in fog, like you're in some kind of haunted house. I don't understand the logic behind that. Some rooms it makes sense because like you'll be in like a really cold environment. I get it, but why is the entire ship covered in fog? Like, what happened? I get that it's like, oh, it's adding spooky atmosphere, but it just doesn't fit what the game is. Why is there so much fog and mist? I do not understand it. Isaac's animations across the board are extremely inferior to 2008. And I made a video when this game originally got revealed explaining what was wrong, so it was obvious from the get-go, and these developers never checked, changed, or adjusted anything to make it look like 2008. It's just ass across the board, and I don't understand what the devs were thinking with this kind of stuff. That doesn't mean everything's bad. Isaac's control is even more tighter than the original, maybe even too good, because the AI on the necromorphs is extremely worse. The game's a hell of a lot easier. The necromorphs can't even run. How is that an oversight? How do you even cock that up? Like, the first xenomorph, the first necromorph you find in Dead Space 2008, it runs straight at you. It does. It kills, it's not the first one you see, but you open a door, it kills the guy on the floor, and then it darts towards you so fast, sprinting, screaming. Sound design in 2008, way better. I don't understand what happened. The voice acting's worse. It's good to have Isaac being voiced by, I can't remember his name. What's his name? Gunnar something. It's good to have his voice from Dead Space 2 and Dead Space 3. He's a good voice actor, but the way he's playing Isaac in this game, he's acting like Dead Space 2 Isaac, and it doesn't work. There's added storyline to make Isaac seem more like a dick to Nicole, and I don't understand why. Why was that added? Why are we trying to make him out like a dick? There's just little added things here. Characters' deaths, they're just lame. You've just seen one on screen with Hammond. What was that? Why have we removed the brute ripping him in half? What? Just he runs into a thing and explodes? Yawn. Honestly, I could go on all day explaining why this remake is extremely inferior to the original game. It didn't need to be made. It's a waste of resources. Sure, it looks pretty. There's no denying the visual quality of the game. I kind of like Isaac's suit in this as well. Yes, the 0G sections are better than the original, but it was never a problem in the original, and they were added in Dead Space 2 and whatnot. So again, you've just took ideas from another game that is better than you. I don't get it. It adds nothing. It achieves nothing. It looks pretty. I think the only people who stand by this remake genuinely are people who do not have access to 2008. Yes, it's awkward to play 2008 these days. The Steam version's atrocious. It glitches at the door at the start and you've got to knock it down to 30 FPS to get past it. It's super annoying. It's buggy. It's shitty. You can play it on a PS3. You can play it on a 360. You can play it on Xbox One Series X because it's backwards compat on Xbox. But obviously that's not the preferred platform, if you will. So what EA should have done is they should have gone 1, 2, 3 remastered collection. Everyone buys it, right? People clearly want Dead Space. Let's fund Dead Space 4. But what happened was EA went, let's remake Dead Space 1, even though it doesn't need to be done. Let's remake it because Resident Evil's doing that and cash in on that. And it's just not as good. It's not as good. There's little changes in the storyline that just don't work. They're lame, the character talking. I hate the fact that Hammond is hiding in vents for most of the game. What a loser compared to what he was in the original. The voice acting sucks. It's just, it doesn't add anything. Yeah, you can go, Isaac doesn't even talk in the original. Fair enough, but you can't deny that that adds to it because I don't know if you've noticed with modern horror titles, they've got this severe problem with talking too much and it really detracts. You do not get that in Dead Space 2008. Not to say that you get it here. Isaac does not yap while he's playing, like you're playing the game. I'll give them that. But you don't have to worry about it in 2008 because he doesn't talk at all. And you are Isaac, that's the whole point. The changes to the story, characters, just the little things. Sure, it does a few things that are cool, but it just isn't it. It just isn't. The more I play Dead Space Remake, the more I realize that it just doesn't need to exist. It serves zero purpose. There's no reason this should be a thing. We should have just got a remaster of 1 with some tighter control, changed lighting, changed textures. That's all it took a year. I don't know why you funded this thing. And from what I understand, it didn't sell amazingly well, so we're not getting Dead Space 2. And honestly, I'm okay with that. I am honestly okay with that. Let's get some unique, brand new ideas because this just didn't work. This little experiment. Capcom proved me wrong when I said Resident Evil 4 didn't need a remake. Not to say that the remake's better than the original. I go backwards and forwards on that, but where Dead Space is concerned, it's not even close. 2008 is Dead Space 1. This is not Dead Space 1. This is some kind of... I don't want to... I guess it is a cash grab, but I don't want to call it... It's not soulless, but it's just generic. It adds nothing, achieves nothing, doesn't need to exist. Just play the original. The original's better. It always was, and it always will be. Anyway, people, that's all I've got. Enough ranting from me. Like I said, it's not the worst game ever made. It's got some good ideas here and there, but it is not Dead Space 2008, and it never will be. Dead Space 2008 still king. Let me know down below if you like Dead Space, if you like this remake over the original. I don't care, just yap. Tell me your opinion in the comments. But yeah, if you're new here, subscribe. That's all I got. I'll catch you later.